Evening all. In this set of videos we're tracking some synths for a track 6 of Labyrinth 11, a new EP I'm working on. Previously we've done the Volca keys, we've done the Neutron. Tonight we're going to do the modular synth, this fella here. I'd say it's basically a Doepfer synthesizer. Basically, they're mostly Doepfer modules. Sounds like this. All sounds very nice. Now, the thing we're tracking, obviously sketched out using VSTs, sounds like this. So it's just something to accompany the Volca keys line. So I'm going to break the law of tracking today. So I'm using a Z5000 effects module in this little rack here, which has a kind of a reverb setting that I particularly like, and that's the kind of sound I want to capture. So I've set up an audio track. I am going to record it in, wait, now let's choose the right sound card. I want to choose my Behringer audio interface. That's done. I'm going to track it in stereo because although it's a mono synth, I'm using a reverb effect, although it's coming out of a mono thing, although it's going into a mixer, so it's confusing in it. I don't know. I'm going to track it in stereo. Is it wrong? Who cares? As long as it sounds fine, it's all good. Now, the other thing I need to do, so I've got my little, I don't know whether you can see it up there, the USB box, USB MIDI box. That's coming into the CM1A, and then the CV and the gate are going into the modular system there. Really standard setup, like the volts per octave goes into the oscillator and the gate goes into the envelope generator. The envelope generator fires a voltage controlled amplifier, VCA. Yeah, the oscillator goes via a filter, and the this joystick thing controls the filter. Just, because, we can. Where the MIDI is, let's just bypass the VST effect. Now let's send it to the right port. So it's channel 3, correct. Beep, 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 beep. But the CM1A is on channel 16 now. Because on a previous video I did that Volca sample, and if you've got the Volca sample there, recall, and I'm going through the MIDI through, recall that the Volca sample's hardwired to channels 1 to 10. So you don't, so yeah, so I want to get my volts per octave away from channels 1 to 10. So my CM1A is on channel 16. I should write it there really, so 6 months from now I won't be like, what channels are on, what channels are on. Let's get a little preview. Let's knock off the MIDI in, so we won't hear that from the keyboard. How does this sound? Okay, it sounds okay. What I'm going to do, see, my VCO is already in -1 in terms of the way that the volts are affecting the pitch. I am going to just have a new plugin, MIDI transpose -12. I'm going to bring everything down by an octave, which sounds like this. Will sound like this when I engage. Okay. close, I might try some more reverbs. There's a particularly nice gated reverb that I'm going to look for on the Z5000. So that means all the tails of the reverb won't get all mushed together with the new notes. So it should sound much cleaner. Let's give that a shot. I've just done all the tracking, but I forgot to tune the oscillator. And it's a little bit sharp. And while I could probably get away with it, there's that part of my brain that's going, no, Mark, you'll never be satisfied until you tune the oscillator. So I'm going to tune the oscillator, and it's literally like a millimeter on the knob. I didn't like the gated reverb in the end. It wasn't quite reverby enough, so I went completely the opposite direction and went for a super reverby sound, but just turned the mix control down a bit. Now, no delay, so I've dialed in a Valhalla Supermassive. Let's give this a shot. Echoes, synth, lead synth delay. No, not quite right, is it? Ah. Might play with this a bit more. Getting closer. So, okay, I've got, in the end, we used just a rear delay instead of Valhalla. I wasn't feeling it. We've got a kind of comb EQ thanks to the graphic equalizer plugin from Reaper, and I've just put a channel strip on it to get it around about -2 to 0 dB, which sounds like this. Let's hear that with the neutron that we did a couple of days ago. Okay, I mean, it's obviously early days, not mixed. Let's add some guitar in. Sounds a little busy to my ears, but the guitar's almost certainly too high in the mix. We're missing the bass to give it that foundation. Let's see, Volca keys. Let's take away the guitar. So that modular synth line should work with the Volca keys line. Yeah, I think hopefully it's rounding off the harshness of the Volca keys, which does work well with the guitar sound. Yeah, I mean, there's something, maybe the neutron's too loud in the mix. Let's put some rhythmic elements in. Yeah, I mean, there's still mixing to be done, but I think we are, well, we've got the stems, so we've got something to work with and something to engineer. My light has just failed over there. All right. Let's call it a day for this video. We've just been tracking the modular synth there, not trying to do anything clever with that, not trying to set up like 4 LFO to do this, that and the other. We are using the joystick control there on the filter, just to dial in that kind of filter sound, just out of convenience, because we can. But we're not trying to do anything complicated, just using that as a nice sounding mono synth with a lovely kind of reverb setting. That's all, nice and simple. Obviously, all these different stems need to gel in the final track, which will be part of the mixing process. All right, see you in the next video. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. We got this guy next.